my name is Heather Reisman, and this is my lesson plan 2. This is my standard MAFS 1G11 to distinguish between defining attributes, triangles are closed and three-sided, versus non-defining attributes, color, orientation, overall size, stuff like that. The students will be able to recognize 80% of all shapes and count how many sides are on each figure by using different manipulatives within the week of introduction of this topic. The questions I'm going to ask my kids are, which shape has 3 corners, which is a lower order thinking question. Which shape is round? Which shape has 4 sides? Which shape is made of small triangles? Which shape has no straight edges? Which shape has 5 corners? Which shape has 4 sides that look different? And which shape has 3 sides and 3 corners? And a mix of those will be either higher order or lower order. So for some of the materials I'm going to be using are basic paper, pencil, glue, scissors. But for my lesson I'm going to be using saltine crackers that are shaped like squares, Ritz crackers which are circles, Doritos are triangles, as well as Cheez-Its are squares, and other different foam manipulatives with puzzles, worksheets, pipe cleaners, paper clips. And then my technology that I'm going to be using is an internet, a computer, a document camera, and a smartboard. Planning and preparing for special needs students, I would for sure give them work one-on-one or give them extra time, computer time, if they need the test read to them, or I would let them work with another child. The subject matter for the Marzano focus, I'm going to be introducing this new knowledge. The students are going to be learning how to identify different shapes by counting the different number of sides. For my goal and scale, for a 4, they will identify 10 out of 10 of 2-dimensional shapes, count their sides accurately by themselves, so they'll be able to do every single one, no mistakes. For a 3, they will identify 80% of the 2-dimensional shapes and count most of their sides. And my standard is inside, the distinguish between different attributes, able to draw shapes to possess the different attributes. For a 2.0, the students will probably identify around half the shapes, so they'll only be half as competent rather than none at all, with some guidance. And for a score of 1, the students will not be able to identify anything without the teacher guiding them along the way. For the lesson initiating activity, we're going to do a table activity. There's going to be different foods on each table, like I mentioned in the previous for the materials. So on every desk, I would have a couple Ritz crackers, saltine crackers, Cheez-Its, Doritos, and all the students will be able to look at their own, so they'll notice the Ritz cracker is like a circle when the saltine is a square, and they'll be able to mix and match and say, look, this one's a square, this one's a circle, and they'll be able to compare and contrast the differences between the number of sides, the number of vertices and angles as from the food. For their main activity, the students are going to be playing with different puzzles. They will have, say for like a triangle puzzle, they'd have 3 pieces. So they'd have each corner, they'd have to put them together to make the triangle. So then they would see 3 pieces equals a triangle, which has 3 sides. They would also be able to do, for a circle, it would be a little different. They would have to just match the pieces. There would be no straight ends. They would all be curved ends. For their guided practice, they'd be doing a worksheet that connects shapes with the length and width of, there'll be a legend that explains everything. And for their independent activity, there's going to be free roam of the classroom. So they'll be able to use paper clips, pencils, paper, anything in the classroom. They'll be doing an activity with it for them to make their own shapes. So they'll be able to use paper clips and put them in lines to make triangles or circles or squares. They can use 4 markers to make a square. They can use different like eraser caps to make it into a circle. They could even get, if they know all of the basic ones, they can move on to higher order and do hexagons and octagons with all different little manipulative or classroom items. And for the closure activity, we're going to watch a video. It's from Choo Choo Train. It's a fun little video that's singing, so they'll get the class up and moving rather than sitting around, and it'll connect with the auditorial learners. And for the assessment, what I would have is a hat or a bag of different cut up pieces of paper with shapes on it. For example, they're going to be the basic ones: circle, square, triangle, rectangle, And groups of students, 2 or 3 per group, are going to come pick a name of a shape out of a hat. So say the student gets a circle. They're going to have to go around the classroom and find objects that are that shape. So they won't be able to take the clock down, but we may have little manipulative clocks that they can use, or a garbage can is the bottom of a circle, a globe in a classroom. So they would go around the room finding all these objects and either bring them to me or draw them on their paper if they're too big to carry around. And these are my resources: Shapes for Kids, Kindergarten Children Learning, and Shapes A to Z. And that's my lesson plan too. Thanks for watching.